Hello, I'm Jeff Siegel. Welcome to SantaAnita.com. Welcome to our Friday video seminars. We go over the races at Santa Anita. Another very difficult competitive card. Let's dive into the first race. And this race is kind of an open event. We'll go three deep in this mile claiming event. The three horses we're going to look at are numbers 2, 4, and 5 on your program. Number 2 is Dave's Ruler, 4 is Camicory, 5 is Warren's Dove. You can use them in an exacta or trifecta box if you would like, and I would use them in any kind of rolling exotics you may want to play. Dave's Ruler dropping again in class, drops down to $10,000, was a winner in a maiden 25, 2 runs back. That race earned a fairly decent competitive speed figure. Didn't run all that well last time, but that was the starter field. Now he's dropping to a realistic level and switching back to Rosario, who won with him 2 races back. That's a positive. So Dave's Ruler a contender. Camicory is definitely a contender for Jeff Mullins. Another class dropper trying to find his level. Showed a little bit of spark last time, went on the front end and hung on to be third. It wasn't a great race at all, but I think he's capable of better if he runs back to his either race before last or races 3 races back. So a little bit of a question mark in terms of his current condition, but I'll throw him in. And then Warren's Dove for good trainer Peter Miller. The only problem with this horse, although he does chart well with these, is that he was a beaten favorite in his last 2. Maybe he's a tough one to trust, but P-Val stays aboard, and he should be honored in the lead as he stretches out for the first time. Looks potentially like he could be the controlling speed. So any one of those 3, 2, 4, and 5. And I will use them all in our rolling exotics. Moving now to the second race, looking at the number 5 filly. That's number 5, the Great Atlantic, is our top selection. I know that her grass form looks a little shaky. She's a non-winner on the turf in 5 starts, but she has run well. And she's another one who fits very well here. She's been freshened, seems to be training solidly for Mark Glatt. And this is really a below par field for the level. So she's 5-2 in the morning line. That's not a great price in terms of value. I wouldn't take her in anything short than that. But I think the Great Atlantic looks primed and ready. She was on the lead last time and faded. I think she might be better off if she's held up right behind the pace and then make her last run. So, you know, she's 1 for 12. Not really one to trust, but does look like the right one here. So the Great Atlantic, our top selection in today's second race. Third race, a very modest maiden 20, maiden claiming race for fillies and mares. This is the bottom maiden claiming level we have here at Santa Anita. And number 8, Luteness. She's maybe a hard one to trust, but she also may have finally found a field she can beat. Now, she's run 7 times. She's still a maiden, but at least she's been on the money 7 times. So she's always kind of knocking on the door, and maybe today she'll finally enter. She's not particularly fast on numbers, but if you go through the list of the competition, there's just nothing in here. There just isn't anything in here. So not really the kind of play that you'd like to take at 9 to 5 in the morning line, and I certainly don't recommend any kind of straight play, but maybe if you're playing rolling exotics, you may want a single Luteness or just pass the race. It could go either way. Not much here to deal with, unfortunately. We'll put her on top, and hopefully she'll finally learn how to win a race, because if she doesn't win today, then I'm not really optimistic about her potential down the road. Fourth race, 6.5 down the hill. This is a turf race, and these are fillies and mares. And in this race, there are 3 main contenders. 1 main contender, if you assume that Reba is tops, is still what she used to be. She's dropping in for a tag after chasing stake horses last time out. She was a winner 2 runs back. I wouldn't see this as a terribly suspicious class drop, even though she's a mare who's won a lot of races in her career. But I think this is what probably her level now at age 7, and I think Mark Glatt's just trying to win a race, and the purse is good, so why not try her for the high price tag? And if you lose her, you lose her. She is definitely the one to beat, and that's why she's 6 to 5 on the morning line. But number 6, Bella Roja, who was first off to claim for Craig Lewis, was best last time out. She will be moving well. She'll be flying late. Don't know whether she's good enough to beat Reba as tops, but she certainly is one that you would consider in your exotics. And Softly Singing Singing is another one who's pretty genuine and consistent, first or second. 6 out of 11 times, she should fire again and be right in the hunt under Bejarano. I don't think they beat Reba's tops if she fires. The one concern about Reba's tops is that as good as she is, she's never won on this turf course. Now, she's run some good races, but she's never really won here. So 6 to 5, not a lot of value there. So you either, again, pass the race, spread, or take Reba's tops and just kind of hold your breath. Really not that attractive in a race, unless you're going to try to beat her. And if you do that, try number 6, Bella Roja, or number 7, Softly Singing. Fifth race, another maiden claimer, maiden 30, this is for 3-year-olds, and number 2, Rockin Harbor. The problem with Rockin Harbor is, A, he does figure to win, B, he's been a money burner. Another one you really don't want to trust. He was beaten at 1-2, 2 races back, and at 3-2 last time. Now, both races were decent, but the fact is he didn't win. And if he doesn't win here, where do you go? I mean, the firsters don't look that terribly inspiring. The horses that have run, not that good either. Second choice, number 6, Requisition under P-Val. Fading 7th with some trouble in his only start. That was against straight maiden Cowbirds. Maybe he'll improve. That might be a direction you want to go if you don't want to take Rockin Harbor. But Rockin Harbor at 8 to 5, again, not that attractive and low. I certainly think that he can win. So not a real good race there in the 5th race for us to play with. 6th race, claiming event fillies and mares, bottom here, or close to the bottom, $10,000. The 2 main contenders are logically number 4, Irridescent Red. First off, the claimant being wheeled back quickly in a week by new trainer Jeff Metz. And number 7, Lost Prophet, who looked good, beating a bottom of the barrel $8,000 field. That was back in late December, now in Dean Greenman's barn. She earned a competitive number, but not quite as good a fig as Iridescent Red did. So 2 mares coming off good wins, clash. Both should be on or near the lead. I don't see any real effective late speed here going 5.5, so wouldn't be surprised to see the favorites dominate yet again. So either one could win. Maybe slight preference for me to Lost Prophet. She's had a little bit more rest than Iridescent Red, who's coming back pretty quickly. But I don't see any other upsetters in here, so another formful race potentially with not a whole lot of value. Although on the morning line, Lost Prophet at 7-2, Iridescent Red at 5. Not too bad if you want to go in that direction. Moving now to the 7th race, a mile turf race. Pretty good first level allowance here. And in looking at this race, it really does go deep in contention. And number 4, Dahoud, that's a Hollendorfer New Zealand bred import. And all right, first time out, speed and faded down the hill. Actually over to Hollywood, speed and faded, sprinting over at Hollywood. Now he stretches out here at Santa Anita. Should be a little fitter. No reason why he won't get the trip at 3-1 in the morning line with Rosario riding him back. Dahoud looks like a major player here. Bring It Home hasn't been out now since August, but he's pretty consistent. And although he's just 1 for 15 and you can't trust him in terms of winning, I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of gets a piece of it, makes the last run. So you might want to consider him at 8-1. That's a decent price. Definitely use him in your exotics. Number 7, Hondro is coming off a win. That was back in November at Hollywood. He has further improvement in him. A lightly raced 4-year-old gelding. Seems to be training solidly for Ron Ellis. So use number 7, Alejandro. And then on the outside, and I don't like the post here, but Rothenberg has got form as well. He's coming down the hill last time out. Ran decently, was 4th, good tightener for him. That post is not really ideal, though, and that might do him in, although back to Bejarano, who won with him 2 races back. That's a positive. So if he can overcome that draw, then Rothenberg's got to look. But other than that, it's going to be tough. So if you don't want to go 4 deep, what I would do is go 4, 5, and 7. That's Dahoud, Bring It Home, and Alejandro, trying to beat Rothenberg only because of the post. And so let's go 4, 5, and 7 in our exacta or trifecta, and I would use all 3, obviously, in your rolling exotics. The pick 3, pick 4, and rolling daily double. 8th and final, a mile race maiden. These are Calbred 3-year-old fillies. Another difficult race. You can spread here if you'd like. Number 2, Frigid Bridget, is got that 2 sprints and a stretch out pattern that I always like for Dan Hendricks. Flores takes them out, and this is a filly who continues to work well. She's drawn inside. She's going to get a great trip, and I think number 2, Frigid Bridget's going to fire at 12-1. Got to use her 12-1 thrower in. Number 4, Excessively Tricked. This is the filly I liked last time. Didn't break all that well and was outrun, but now Rosario rides her back. She's stretching out, and if she breaks, she's going to be in front. I'm fairly convinced of that. I don't know that she can run this far, but if she gets loose in the lead, and she's dangerous, and she's 8-1, so I would throw her in as well at that price. Number 6, Bathing Beauty is probably the one to beat. She's 9-5 on the morning line. She's got solid form. Another one stretching out for the first time by benchmark out of a flying pacer mare. She should get the trip. She's very solid with Gomez riding her back, so use number 6, Bathing Beauty. And then the other horse to throw in number 8, Screaming Regal. Blinkers on, stretching out, coming out of the Cal Breeders, back with maidens today. She certainly has the right to improve. Espinoza stays aboard, and if she runs back to her race 2 races back, she's got a chance to produce the last run. Don't know what the blinkers are going to do, maybe put more speed into her, but if they take her back and make one run with the logical pace scenario that I'm seeing, it's possible Screaming Regal can wear them down in the final 16th of a mile. So let's go 2, 4, 6, and 8 if you're playing a 4-horse exacta trifecta, or if you're even playing the superfecta. Those are the horses I would consider. Again, the best prices here, number 2, Frigid Bridget, and number 4, Excessively Trick. Those would be the most attractive because of the prices, but obviously Bathing Beauty, number 6, and number 8, Screaming Regal, also have a right to run well and should be used in your exotics. So a difficult program, kind of an open program. Wouldn't be shocked if we get a carryover in the pick 6. We haven't had many, in fact, one throughout the whole year so far. This might be the day. So tread lightly and good luck, and we will see you again tomorrow morning for a very good Saturday program right here on SanAnita.com.